take Lightyear off the title, name it like Space Hero, whatever, and people are like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, what an interesting whatever. But no, it's not.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rant over. I kind of wanted to rant for a second, and I know you gave your thoughts on Jurassic Park last week. I myself saw another recent modern movie in the theater. I don't really get a chance to watch too many movies, period, but when I get the chance, I'm going to take, my opportunity to go see Lightyear. And I know there's probably a couple of people out there scratching their head right now, like, why are we watching this physical media channel and this guy wants to start talking about Lightyear? But
no back talk.
It was such a disappointment. And I want to preface this by saying maybe also one of the reasons why I even went to see this, and we went to see it as a family, but I really enjoy Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. Number 4, I think, was a misfire. Before number 4 even had come out or was announced, that was, to me, almost a perfect, if not a perfect, trilogy, animated trilogy within Disney's catalog, Pixar's catalog.
Yeah. Obviously, it was intimidating and daunting. Look, I'm a fan first.
A great story arc from the very first one all the way to the third one. They were very emotional, heartfelt. So to kind of hear this concept, which I honestly felt like was kind of interesting, this is the movie that the Andy character watched, and the merchandise from this movie, the Buzz Lightyear doll, is what he bought or what he got for his birthday.
Is that the plot?
That is the concept. Yes, they do say that.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
I would like to get into a little bit of spoiler territory, if you don't mind, and I'll make sure to mention that I am talking about spoilers before I do. But I want to at least get my general thoughts and then kind of like go a little bit deeper until I'm exhausted afterwards.
Okay.
I think that they tried to make this a movie for, as most of these movies are, a movie for everyone, whether it be old or young. But I think it comes across more like an adult space drama than an extension of Toy Story.
Yeah, I think we wanted that, just to.
It tries to be that Toy Story connection for kids while really being very adult in theme and in concept. But I feel like it's just a misfire because it doesn't connect in either one.
It would seem to be a big adventure story, and as I see, it's not a big adventure story. It's a wonderful story. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't seem to have any connection to the toy.
It's far too serious. It's like I said, with the drama and the concepts, you're getting something like Interstellar.
When people go, it was clear you were influenced by Interstellar, I'm like, no, I wasn't, but okay.
If it was executed well, it probably would have worked, but because they're also trying to make this a kid's movie, it just doesn't connect like whatsoever.
I want 2001 just with Buzz Lightyear.
Dude, yeah, think about 2001, think about Interstellar. Exactly. There's so much imagery like that in this movie. I don't think that this movie is endearing, and I don't think this movie is fun. If you want to say that we're trying to make this not those things and be its own separate whatever, you can. But I feel like because this is still so tied into what Toy Story is, especially because of how this is connected, it's like this Buzz Lightyear doll is a reference to this movie, and this Buzz Lightyear doll is fun and silly and braggadocious, and he's all these kinds of things, and he doesn't get that he's a toy, and they're trying to explain all that to him. This guy right here has less heart and less humor to him than the doll or even what Toy Story would in general. And I feel like that's where myself and kids might fail to connect with this movie.
It has no relationship to Buzz. You never, Buzz is a kind of it's just no connection. I wish there was a better connection to it.
Which, if you took Lightyear off of his suit, and this could just be an animated movie on Netflix named Space Ranger Guy, like whatever, like this doesn't.
That's a great title.
This doesn't have to be a Toy Story movie, but the fact that it is, why not infuse this with a little bit more heart? Why not infuse this with a little bit more fun?
I feel like then it would just be Toy Story 5.
Well, I mean, true. Like, and I don't think that it is, but I still don't think you can change the formula that much and expect to not put some people off, like me.
You have to understand that there's going to be a lot of people who have an idea in their head, but
we've all heard the countless arguments about Marvel versus cinema, right? Mm-hmm. How Marvel took over, ruined movies. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. That's up to everyone to feel. That's a perspective. I think Pixar is more to blame than Marvel if you subscribe to that line of thinking. And I realized this when I saw Soul. And I realized wow, I'm watching a movie that's a kid's movie that is dealing with real themes about death in an honest and adult way that I have not seen in a movie aimed at adults, in a mainstream movie aimed at adults in many years.
If anything, Pixar films are meant to be seen alone. Alone in your 40s on a Sunday when you're sad.
Which is crazy because we should be living in a world where we can watch actual adult films that touch on these themes, but also appeal to children. It's a weird spot for Pixar to be in. At the end of the day, to me, it's like it's a kid's movie. Why are we putting so much emphasis on kids' animation movies to give us human emotion and examine the human existence? Basically, I'm just bitching that no live action adult movies do this anymore, yet Pixar has to.
Fascinating.
Well, this isn't Soul.
Lightyear's not that balanced.
No, this isn't Soul. It's not even close. And I think that's part of the problem is there is no soul. I felt like to this movie. I felt like it was heartless. And I also felt like, again, the concept of it, the story of it, Buzz Lightyear gets trapped on a planet. He's flying a colony around. They get stuck on a planet due to some mistake that he tries to get them off the planet. They're now marooned there. In order for him to get them off the planet, he's got to figure out some energy source that's going to like kick them off into like hyperspace or something. And as he's trying to figure all this out in space, he's taking these trips that every 4 minutes he's in space, the planet down below ages 4 years. He keeps like trying to fix his mistake over and over and over again for the first like 30, 40 minutes of the movie. Everyone that you kind of have originally met have now all aged and grown up. So now it's like kids, they're now adults, they're now grandparents, and now Buzz is interacting with the grandkids of the people that were his crew and like all this stuff. And there's a whole colony on this planet that he's been trying to get off of for 60 something years. And it's just like, it's already just feels very laborious. Like I already feel really like weighed down by just most of everything I just said. And like, this is again, like the opening of this movie practically. This cat shows up pretty much halfway through and is trying to be the cute merchandising opportunity. It's trying to have the little quips now and then and be kind of comic relief, but it's really the only thing that is.
Of course.
I have a few stray observations, and one of them in particular is that if I'm Andy and I'm watching this movie,
You'd want the cat.
I'm going to buy the damn cat. That's what this movie is trying to do. This movie is trying to sell you this cat because they're going to sell this cat and they want you to buy the cat. Why aren't I buying the modern Buzz Lightyear doll? I mean,
now,
I
now
feel
we're
like,
arguing why the fictional animated Andy
it's
back in
bullcrap.
1995
Yes.
would have really wanted the cat over Buzz Lightyear.
And Andy, like, Andy's not really a real person. And since we make the movies for ourselves, in this case, Andy was just us. But we say Andy, that gets a lot of attention.
But there's no weight here. I'm just going to tell you. I felt like there was no emotional weight. The first movie, second movie, third movie, there's so many parts where you really felt crushed by what was going on or some song. Like, I remember in 2, again, you didn't see 2, but there's some song that Sarah McLachlan sings about the doll that gets like left behind that I felt that shit. I felt that, Russ. I didn't feel this, Russ. To Infinity and Beyond is said one time. You're trying to make this the Toy Story reference, but when you have a character already that you're playing off of that has this whole history that you've built within the Toy Story universe, including Zurg and all these people that he is like after and all the stuff that he talks about, if you're a toy of this movie and your catchphrases are, I've got to get back to the ship, I've got to fight Zurg, I've got to do whatever, like these are catchphrases from the movie. There's a reason that this toy is the way that he is, and none of these things are present as much as I felt like they should have been.
Okay.
Like Zurg, as an example. He's the antagonist of Buzz Lightyear in all 3 movies. Whether it's, he talks about him, he shows up in the second one, like literally shows up. And in the second one, there's like a Star Wars, like, you are my father situation where Zurg is his father. But in this movie, Zurg shows up at the end. Zurg is actually Buzz Lightyear, an older version of him that has continued to time travel over and over and over again to keep trying to solve this problem that this Buzz is in the current day trying to solve. This is him super old, and now he's finally solved it. So now he's coming back to finish what he started, and Buzz and them are fighting. It's like, it's so complex and strange for a kid's movie, dude. Like, it's so weird. I'm explaining it, but I feel the way that it was executed is even worse. Like, I don't know. I was in the theater with kids and other families. No one was reacting to anything. No one was laughing. You can see here, there's a cast of people that are with him. They're all, misfits. They all have little, quirks. None of their jokes land. Again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but if I'm Andy, why do I even like this movie?
I think the only thing that's going to calm you down about this film...
We need Andy here.
I was about to say, we need to interview Andy.
He's not really a real person.
All right, well, roast me down below. Screw me, it's fine. If you disagree, that's fine. I would love to hear your thoughts too. Maybe I'm just nitpicking it to death because I feel like once I start to like turn on a movie a little bit, then all the nitpicks come out. But I will at least say this, and I feel like this is true. If you're looking for the same, at least fun, lighthearted, entertaining feeling as any of the Toy Story movies, it's absolutely not here at all. It just doesn't have that soul, that energy. It just isn't there. So you don't go in thinking or wanting or expecting that.
I wasn't, though. I wouldn't go into this expecting Toy Story 5.
They shouldn't. And I think that's why it failed, because I think that because it has a tie into Toy Story at all.
Is it because they're so great that it's like that comparison to a franchise that is arguably the greatest in Pixar's catalog?
Yes. Take Lightyear off the title, name it like Space Hero, whatever. And people are like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, what an interesting whatever. But no, it's not.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rant over. Sorry, everyone. I really had to talk about Lightyear there for a second. I just
I'm going to run out and watch it now.
There you go. See, maybe my review will make people want to see this more. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
I want to see Buzz Lightyear in Interstellar.
I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can't never tell.